What's going on, Blues? Welcome back to my channel, and it's your boy Orin here. And in this video I will be talking about our current striker situation, the strikers that we already have and the strikers that we've been linked to. So let's get into it. As you guys see on the screen, we got our current strikers. We got Werner, Havertz, Giroud, Abraham, and Broja. And let's start with Werner. And you guys know he joined us last year. And to be honest, he could have done way better. He had a lot of misses, but overall it was an okay first season. And considering that he won the Champions League, you can call him, it was a decent season for him. And considering that he's more used to the Premier League now, and he's got like another year on him, I think he's gonna be improving his numbers and stuff. He's gonna have he's gonna be a much better player from last season. So I think there is no reason to worry about Timo. Next up, we got Kai Havertz, and Kai Havertz is a bit of a different player. He can do a bit of everything. He was an attacking midfielder in Bayer Leverkusen. He played as a striker. This year, he's been sometimes implemented as a number 8, more of a right-sided, attacker. But then sometimes Tuchel put him as a striker, so he can do a bit of everything. And I think if you need a player to play like at the false line role, he can definitely do that. And I think Havertz, even though this year it was a bit of a disappointment for me, even though I think especially the first part of the season it was a bit of a disappointment, but considering that he had like injuries and stuff, COVID and stuff, so I think it's okay. I think next year he's gonna go to different levels. As you guys see in the Euros, he was Germany's best player and he was the best young player so far in the tournament, so there is no reason to worry about him. So I think Werner and Havertz are gonna be here for sure. After that is Olivier Giroud, and this is a bit of a tricky situation. So I think he signed an extension, and apparently he's linked to AC Milan, but we don't know if AC Milan is gonna actually try to buy him or loan him. We don't know that. There were rumors that he's gonna go for free, which I don't understand. Why would we extend his contract if you're gonna leave him for free? So I just don't get that part. But I think overall Giroud will most likely leave Chelsea. So I think overall, this was like Giroud's last season. Winning the Champions League, that's great. He's won everything pretty much besides the Premier League, which I wish he could have stayed another extra year, because I think next year we can definitely push for the title. But yeah, I think Giroud will most likely leave. He's gonna go to Italy. I think there's a lot of Italian clubs interested in him. So for me, Giroud, great servant of the club, very great purchase from Arsenal and stuff. I liked him, great personality, great leader, but I think it's time for him to go. And the next up, the player we got is Tammy Abraham, guys. It's another young player from us. He's currently 23 years old, and he did a lot of us. Like proud, like Chelsea fans. He made us proud, especially in his first season. Considering that he was getting a lot of trust from Lampard. He scored 16 Premier League goals, I believe, and this year he didn't really get that many opportunities, especially after Tuchel came in. So I think he scored 22 or 23 Premier League goals in 2 seasons, which is not that bad, even though considering that he got barely any minutes this season. So I think the guy is very talented. If it was up to me, I would keep him. But again, Tuchel doesn't really like him, and you gotta respect his opinion because he won us the Champions League. And also, Abraham wants to be the main striker, and he's currently approaching that age that he needs to be playing regularly, and he's not really playing. He doesn't want to be a squad player, if you know what I mean. So I think overall, Abraham, he has to go. I think there's a lot of interest from Aston Villa and West Ham, so I don't know, man. Who knows? We might be able to use him in the Declan Rice deal, but I think Abraham will most likely leave too. The only way I can see him not leaving is that we don't get a striker, but I think most likely we will get a striker. And the last guy that I was gonna talk about is Armando Broja, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna get a preseason under Tuchel. Tuchel likes him. He had a very decent season in Vitesse Arnhem, but overall I think this guy, he's still young, he's still developing. He's very talented though. He's one of the most promising young strikers in Europe right now. And the guy is very talented. It's simple. Lampard gave him his Chelsea debut. I think the guy has the pure raw ability. He just needs experience. Maybe a championship move would be a great loan transfer for him. But I think even if he goes to a Premier League club, I think he can do well, even though it's a rotational striker. But I think championship is gonna be the best destination for him to master his physical side of the game, and kind of be more, I guess, tough. But I think overall Broja is talented, and I think loan is gonna be the best option for him. So I think the only 2 strikers that I see us keeping is Havertz and Werner, the ones that we already have, and we also have Batshuayi, but I just don't think he is in our plans of Tuchel and the club. He will most likely leave as a permanent transfer or a loan deal. But yeah, I think Werner and Havertz are going to be the strikers that we're going to be with for next season. And in the next part, guys, I'm gonna talk about the strikers that we've been linked to. So let's get into it. There we go, guys. We got the strikers that we've been linked to pretty much for the whole summer. We got Erling Haaland, Harry Kane, and Romelu Lukaku. And as you guys see on the screen, I put their prices, their possible prices. It's not really guaranteed. I think Haaland is going to cost us 150 million plus. Same with Kane, and 100 million plus for Lukaku. So I think these three strikers are the strikers that we've been looking to, and it's going to be very hard to get any of them. I think Kane is the least likely to join us because of his connections to Tottenham, and Daniel Levy, you guys already know, he just doesn't want to do business with us. As you guys see, like remember the Modric days, we couldn't really buy him. So I think, guys, it's pretty much Haaland and Lukaku. But let's touch on Kane. I mean, Kane has been, arguably the best striker in the world next to Lewandowski, and he's been carrying Tottenham for a good couple of years. So I think this guy, man, is a special player, but he just needs to, I guess he's just too expensive. I think Levy's not gonna let him go, and I think the only club that he's gonna sign for is either United or Manchester City, and City look like they're the front runners. They actually, I think, offered Laporte, Sterling, and Jesus. So we don't know what's gonna happen with that, but I think Kane will most likely go to Manchester City. So it's a bit of a disappointment. I think if Kane goes to City, I mean, the league is gonna be very difficult for us to win. We're gonna have to sign Haaland and a bunch of other players to compete with City. But yeah, I think Kane is definitely the least likely to join us. On the other hand, we got Romelu Lukaku, and I think there is still a possibility that he can join us. I mean, even though he said he wants to stay at Inter Milan, and they believed in him, they gave him a chance, and he proved them, he gave them like a lot of goals and stuff. He won them the Serie A with Antonio Conte. But I think Lukaku, guys, I would take him honestly at Chelsea. He's a Chelsea fan. He always said he wanted to be a striker at Chelsea. We had him, guys. We just didn't give him the opportunity, which is pretty sad. But I mean, yeah, Lukaku, guys. Honestly, like for even we signing for 100 million pounds, I would honestly, that's gonna be a great signing. He's in his prime years. He's improved a lot since his Premier League days. So honestly, like I would be happy with Lukaku, but it's just it's gonna be, I guess, a waiting game, and like basically patience. We're gonna see how his agents and stuff, how our clubs are gonna be negotiating and stuff. But I think Lukaku, I just feel like he's gonna stay at Inter Milan. I think he just loves Italy. He loves being the number one guy, and he likes to be loved by the fans. And I think rightfully so. But I think overall, Lukaku, I would take him. But again, he's gonna stay at Inter Milan. So I think Kane and Lukaku are kind of the least likely guys to join us. But again, the stories are not over, guys. So we just have to wait and be patient about their news. Who knows? Maybe they just decide to leave suddenly. You never know, because like it's the Euros, and the Euros are currently going on, so it's kind of hard for players to concentrate on their their transfers and stuff. So if I was them, even if I was a player, I would just keep it after the Euros to see what's gonna happen. And the third guy, guys, and the guy that he's like pretty much our number one option. It's Erling Braut Haaland, guys, and he's gonna cost us way above 150 million. Mino Raiola is his agent, and he's gonna demand crazy agent fees. So at this point, we just have to negotiate and see what's gonna happen. All the clubs always like give us crazy amounts of values for their players and stuff, but Marina somehow always manages to bring the price down, and you just gotta respect her, man. She's like the best businesswoman like in the world. She knows what she's doing. You gotta respect her. Everyone is scared of her, and I'm just proud to have her in our Chelsea club. I think she's gonna be able to get Haaland for cheaper, but it all depends on Dortmund. Dortmund, they're a selling club, and every time they're like, oh, you gotta pay the money to get the player, and next year he's gonna go for pretty much half the money. So Dortmund, it would be stupid for them, to not sell Haaland for double the amount of money. So I think if you just take the money and give it to Dortmund, I think they're gonna accept the deal. And I think Haaland, man, if he joins us, our attack is pretty young already. He's gonna make us even more younger, and I think the potential that he has. He's pretty much the only guy that can rival Mbappe from a talent status and stuff. Obviously, Mbappe is still the best, but again, Haaland is like the pretty much the only guy who can compete with him. I think Haaland, man, if you sign him, it means that you're gonna be dominant for a good decade for sure, minimum. Considering that we already have Havertz, Pulisic, Mason Mount, Reece James, Hudson-Odoi, guys. Look at these players, guys. We got so many young players. It's actually crazy, guys. It's actually crazy. And I don't know, guys. If he's on Haaland, it's gonna be insane, guys. Cannot wait for more news about him. I mean, recently we've been hearing some news about him, but it's just basically the same things that we've been hearing over there. Like, oh, Dortmund, what's this amount of money, and we gotta pay the money. And I think overall, it's just nothing's gonna be heard until like we actually release it. I think Chelsea likes to work behind the scenes. We don't really like making a lot of noise, and I think that's the best way of making transfers. But I think, guys, right now we just have to be patient, see what's gonna happen about these players. I wouldn't rule off any of these 3 players. I think there is like a small possibility that even Kane might join. You never know, guys, because it's football. Crazy things happen. Remember, like, we never thought Neymar was gonna leave PSG, but he left. But overall, I think, guys, you just gotta give it time. I would take Haaland for sure because of his age. He's crazy young, crazy talent, and he's destined to go to the very top. Like, I like his personality. Like, he's just got that crazy aura about him. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go score 2 goals, 3 goals. He just loves to score. And I just like his vibe. I think imagine him and Mason, all the other young players, they're gonna have like a lot of good connection and good chemistry with one another. So I think overall, Haaland is gonna be my number 1 priority, just like the clubs. And yeah, guys, this was it. Make sure to drop your opinions about our strikers, the strikers that we currently own, and the strikers that we have been linked to. Let's discuss, let's see what you guys think about it. I'm gonna try to answer your questions down in the comments. But yeah, guys, this was it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to smash the likes and subscribe, and see you later for the next video. Bye bye.